Howdy, neighbor. Decided to do a pretty quick video. This video is going to be, if you don't know who the chick in the thumbnail is, I'll do a brief overview of who she is. She is a model, so we basically look at her for her body, not because we want to hear what she has to say, sort of thing. She's a Canadian, so a lot of the things she says is subjective to something Canadians would say. And she is an abusive woman because a YouTuber who does like top 10 series on the internet and thing like that. Sorry, it's too early in the morning for me to be doing this sort of thing. But she is a model, Canadian, abusive woman. This is Nicole Arbour. I normally wouldn't care what people would have to say about other people, but she says things that are absolutely subjective, meaning that it's things that matters to her that she can't validate, like her views on fat people. She did a video called Dear Fat People, Dear Black People, and she also did another video called Dear Gun Enthusiasts. We know which one I'm going to be talking about today, am I right? The first and foremost thing I have to mention is she's a Canadian. She also has a residence in California, so you can imagine she is extremely liberal. Extremely liberal. Canadians have laws around firearms that are super restrictive versus laws here in the United States. There are laws here in the United States, in some states, that are super restrictive on firearms. Which, you know, the difference between Arizona and California is basically the gun laws, the immigration laws, and the healthcare sort of thing. And the crime, of course. But when it comes to something around firearms, California needs to have its assault weapons ban. It needs to have its magazine count restrictions bans. It needs to have its assault weapons features ban, or they need to identify what features make an assault weapon. But Arizona doesn't need to. Arizona is, if it's a weapon that is faulty and can fire more rounds per trigger pull and per single trigger pull, kind of like if it fires 2 or 3 rounds per trigger pull and it's not registered, it's either faulty, damaged, or needs to be destroyed. That sort of thing. It's pretty reasonable, right? I mean, this part of the law is pretty reasonable. I kind of agree with it. I mean, we have, so far, pistol laws, we have rifle laws, we don't have high-capacity magazine restrictions, we don't have assault weapons bans, we don't have rifle feature restrictions, limitation bans or something, you know. You can have a weapon with a forward foregrip on it, you can have a pistol grip on an AR-15, an adjustable stock, or a flash hider and muzzle brake, you know, the evil features that make an assault weapon that we know about, at least in politics, at least. We've seen the movies. And some of us have already seen the previous legislations because some of us are old enough to look at them. Because I was born at least 2 years into the 94 to 04 assault weapons ban. AWB, the Clinton-era assault weapons ban, which didn't do anything. There was more mass shootings in that 10 year than they were in under Obama's administration, I'm guessing. So Nicole Arbour is a rude, disrespectful bitch. She is. Some people can't go 5 minutes listening to her without wanting to stop the video. It's a bit like Onision. People don't like Onision because, you know, Onision is the most hateable person on the internet. Well, the problem is, no one can really narrow down what Nicole Arbour's politics really are. Because Nicole Arbour was on The View, so she has to be pretty liberal to be on there and to be going about it left and right sort of thing. With those, with the rest of those gals over there. But Nicole Arbour, she. Okay, let me see if I can remember some of her points. Alright, so everyone knows that mass shootings happen and they're bad, and that the liberal or leftist argument for banning weapons is that if someone comes into your school or theater with an AR-15 or some sort of machine gun and you only have a pistol, well, what good is that going to do? We should ban all guns so the bad guy doesn't have a gun. That's not Nicole Arbour's argument. Nicole Arbour's argument was that mass shootings happen not often enough for us to be concerned with. And most people don't die in those instances, even though it's been proven wrong time and time again through polls and Mandalay Bay and Las Vegas and Virginia Tech. The mass shootings there that are over 30, 40, 50 dead in numbers. Nicole Arbour's argument is that mass shootings don't happen enough, so you don't need guns. At this point, it's somewhere along the lines I have to say, well, which is it? Is it mass shootings happen too often enough and guns won't protect us from an armed Kevlar mass shooter? Or are we just, they happen not enough and we don't need guns? And the one thing that a lot of these people don't talk about is the sportsmanship of the firearms bit, the hunting bit, the collecting bit. And a lot of the times, other countries, when they do ban firearms, they actually do cover these bases. Liberals just never talk about it because they really just, their narrative is to ban all guns. And it's not me saying that. I've seen the March for Our Lives. I've seen the Million Moms March. I've seen hours and hours, what would have been hours and hours of all these marches and all these and political anti-gun ads. I've seen them all. I really have. They really just want to ban all guns. They really have no idea what they're talking about as far as firearms. So the first and foremost thing they're going to say is, I just want to ban assault weapons. Well, what is an assault weapon? An assault weapon is something that looks like a military-grade weapon. Well, what is a military-grade weapon? An AR-15. No, it's not. Because I check out Iraq Veteran 888's channel from time to time, and I check out his machine gun meltdowns. Palmetto State Armory and Smith & Wesson M&P 15 uppers don't tend to last. They really don't. I'm just waiting for someone to do a DPMS meltdown on their Oracle A3 carbine uppers. That would be fun. But Nicole Arbour is someone you just want. She's a model, so it's someone you want to look to for her physical appearances. And in the thumbnail, she really is a beautiful, beautiful woman. But she really has an ugly attitude and outlook on people. She really does. And I really can't help but say that it's not because she's a liberal, but it's probably just because of the way she grew up. She has a Canadian outlook on firearms in America. She has a model's look on fat people. She has a white perspective on black people, and for someone like me, I can have both a liberal and conservative view on firearms, a healthy and unhealthy look on black people, and a white and black view of black people. Because when I want to listen to things like this, I listen to both liberals and conservatives about firearms. I listen to both healthy and unhealthy people about obesity, and I listen to both white people and black people when it comes to things like this. Like, it's kind of stupid, but her YouTube channel is really nothing. She really has no chances whatsoever at all. She likes to say that she has 300 million views. Sorry, a little too early in the morning for me to be doing this. She likes to say she has 300 million views, but not on her YouTube channel, but on Facebook. But then Facebook counts even the slightest glance at something as a view. YouTube counts views at something that, is like 60 to 80% of the video that's seen most of the way through. They count that as a view. If you've seen the entire video, that's a view. They've seen half the video to most of the video, that's a view. So if you have a really short video, like 6 seconds or 30 seconds, and you see it all the way through, because it's a short fucking video, that's a view. This video is going along 11 minutes. I can imagine some people are going to start clicking off. But I'm going to end it off here with this. Nicole Arbour is a pretty, very beautiful person to look at, but once you get to know her, she really is a dirty-minded person. She really is. She's super uninformed about firearms. She has a Canadian view on American firearms ownership. She has a model's view on obesity and overweight people, and she has an extremely white view on black people. She's not one of those people to take the time to hear the other side. She's one of those people that you just listen to because you want to watch her, because she's a model. I don't know. I don't like her. See you guys next time.